Welcome to another rendition of Math is Easy Step by Step. Today I'd like to continue in part 2 video talking about measurement of central tendencies, mean, median, mode, and range. In this video I'd like to continue to discuss about the variant formula, how to organize your values in a chart so you could substitute those values in order to find the variant, and then to use that answer in the variant to find the standard deviation, how close or how far from the mean or the average that you're going to find. So in the chart above I want you to set up, I'm going to be explaining what all of these symbols mean. And if you can find the variant in the standard deviation, you simply substitute that value of the variant and you take the square root. So let's go ahead and take a quick look here of how I'd like you to organize the chart. I will go through and explain this step by step. This can be a very complicated topic, but I'd like to try to explain this using color coordination. Purple, excuse me, purple, red, blue, and green here with the blue. And if you can follow the color coordination, that might help to simplify things. So this is just simply an organization chart. What does the symbol mean? The symbol represents your data set, the numbers or values you use in a data set. We've talked about data sets in previous videos. And then you're going to take those numbers in the data set and move them over here. And what does this symbol mean? The symbol is the mean or the average. We talked about this in the prior video. And so you're going to subtract the average or the mean from each of the data sets. Over here, you can see these symbols here is exactly the same as this symbol here. So whatever your answers are in this chart, you're going to move it over, substitute it inside the parentheses, and then take the value of the exponential power of 2 for whatever that solution was here in this chart. Okay, and then finally you can see this symbol here. It simply means the sum of everything here that you found in this chart here. So you take the answers you find in this chart in simplifying terms, you'll simply substitute it into this chart and you will find the sum of each of those values. So let me get right into it. And I'd like you to we're going to try to focus on one area at a time. And so here I wanted to show you again, the symbol represents your data set. Here in the data set, I've got a 1, 2, and a 3. I want to use very friendly numbers because this could become very, very complicated if you're a beginner learner in math. So we have a data set number of 1, 2, and 3. Remember, the symbol represents the data set number. And in the formula you saw below, in the denominator, there was an n. Okay, if you need to rewind and take a look at the formula, no problem. Go ahead and do that and come on back here so this can be made simple for you. So in the denominator, there's an n minus 1 in the formula, and the n represents the total number used in the data set. Here, I'm using 1, 2, 3 numbers. So in the data set, I have 3 numbers. So n would represent 3. Okay, moving forward, I'm going to take these number sets, each one at a time, and I'm going to place them where you see them in the organizational chart. I'll have 1, 2, and 3 here. Then I'm going to subtract the average or the mean of the data set. And if you remember, we talked about that. You're adding up each of these values in order to find the mean or the average. So I'm going to take 1 plus 2 plus 3, add those up to get 6. I divide by the n, or the number used in the data set. There's 3 numbers. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So now my mean, which is represented by this symbol, is 2. I'm going to then follow the formula and subtract the mean from each of my data sets. Okay, 1 minus 2 is a negative 1, 2 minus 2 is 0, and 3 minus 2 is 1. Then I'm going to take these values, negative 1, 0, and 1, since they represent this symbol here, and I'm just going to substitute one at a time each of these values into the symbol here. And then I'm going to square these values here. That will give me my next set of organized data terms, which represents, again, the data set minus the average squared. So the data set minus the average is a negative 1 for the first term. So I'm going to substitute a negative 1 here and then take the square value. Negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1. So my first data set value representing this symbol is a positive 1. I'm going to take 0, which represents, again, the data set minus the average or the means, and I'm going to substitute it here. See, these symbols are the exact same thing. I'm going to take what I found here, place it here, and square it. 0 times 0 is 0, and I'm going to take the 1. Ooh, I made a mistake. Mistakes are golden. Let me fix that mistake. I'd love to say I did it on purpose, but I did not. So the positive 1, 3 minus 2 is a positive 1. Positive 1 times positive 1, you square it, equals a positive 1. So now I have here, and I'm trying to show you in words if I can. This is pretty complicated. I'm running out of time. Looks like I'll make a third video of how you substitute these values into the formula. But here you can see that the data number minus the average squared are represented now by these values, which I had just shown you, and I've organized below. So each one of these values, as you can see here, will be substituted, right, into this area here. So you see the average, the data minus the average raised to the power of 2 for each of the data sets represents a 1. Can you see how these two here are exactly the same? So I can take this 1 and substitute it up here. This term, again, means the sum of what I had found in this chart here. So I'm just going to add all these up to get to the sum. 1 plus 0 plus 1 is a positive 2. And moving this a little bit further, you can see the symbol does mean the sum. So in the next video, I'm going to show you, so it looks like there's a part 2 with finding the standard deviation and the variant in the measurement of central tendencies. I like to show you how you can use these values that we organized to substitute them into the formula to find the variant and the standard deviation. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining me. Math is easy. Take it step by step.